November of 2021. I was burnt out on life. So one night, I was just like, hey guys, at home and at work, I'm going on a road trip in December. See y'all next year. And they were like, oh cool, when? I'm like, December. Where are you going? East. And on December 1st, east I went. And this is I forgot what I called it. What did I call it? This is my road trip diary stand-up Netflix special. That's what it is. And away we go. Thank you all for joining me. So the first stop of my road trip that I took in December was LA, Los Angeles. And I got to see the BTS concert. I got a ticket. I got a completely scalped ticket that was like 10 times the actual price. And I got to see them. First time seeing BTS, my third concert that I've ever been to. And it was amazing. It was the best day of my life. I was so emotional. And I thought to myself, wow, they came to see me. Like ignoring the 50,000 other people around me and like the 200,000 plus people that they performed for over like the 4 days. But nah, they came to see one person and that's me. Because that's what it felt like. And maybe it's because I'm so self-centered. And maybe it's because there was something magical there too. So, day one, December 1st, 7:30 p.m. sharp, they came out and started singing and dancing and performed for 2.5 hours straight. And as I was watching there from like, the cheap scalp ticket way up on the upper deck, it reminded me how much BTS means to me. And everything that they did for me. All those memories started coming back with every song that they sang, every song that I recognized and remember listening to on repeat. Well, one of those songs is, you might have heard it, Life Goes On. It's Life Goes On is by BTS is my number one most played song on Spotify in 2021 and probably 2022 and 2020 as well, but they released it at the end of 2020, and it was basically a song that encouraged their fans, us army, to remember the good times. Whatever we're going through, we'll get through it. Life goes on. And honestly, it got me out of bed every morning. I'm reading off a script, and right here it says, lay down sleeping. I forgot I wrote in acting parts for myself, so here we go. So, every morning, I'd be like, the alarm rings at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, right? And I'm like, I don't want to get up. And then I'd go over like half drowsy over to my phone and play Life Goes On by BTS. And I just sort of lay there. And then they'd go, what do they go? They go, like an arrow in the blue sky and do how to do. Night I got you on my pillow, on my table. Yeah, life goes on like this again. And then eventually by like the 5th or 6th time, I'd be like, okay, Jungkook, you're right. I guess I gotta roll out of bed now. And that helped get me through 2021. Also, waking up to Jungkook's voice every morning was the best. And when they sang that song that I'd been listening to on repeat every morning, getting me out of bed, at the concert, right in front of me, they came all the way from Korea and worked all this hard and got to LA and, got through COVID and they came to see me. And they sang that song and all those memories came back to me and I started tearing up. There's nothing else I could do. And the second to last song, yeah, I got really lucky because they don't play the same songs or the exact same set list every night. It's just sort of kind of pick and choose, I don't know, whatever they feel like over those 4 days. And so the concert that I went to, the second to last song was this song that means a lot to me. It means a lot, a huge deal to me. I started tearing up even more. Now, there's one English lyric in this song that explains basically like what the entire song's about. And that lyric is, "You've shown me I have reasons I should love myself." The name of the song is Love Myself. And back in forever, it feels 2018, 2019, 2019 for sure, and 2020 and onward. That song was exactly what I needed to hear. Not like I need to fucking love myself or you should go and love yourself. It wasn't like what I loved about that song so much was it wasn't yelling at me, or it wasn't me yelling at myself to feel a certain way, but like denying how I actually felt. But no, like for me, that song was about my friends that I met through VR chat, loving me for who I really was, the way I was, and still loving me after time went on, after I unmuted, after sharing stories of what a major asshole I am. I fucking hate myself. I fucking hate myself. But even I can't argue with the fact that you've shown me I have reasons I should love myself. So, maybe if you can, someday I can too. So, 11:30 p.m. sharp. The concert ends. I am in the hospital parking lot that I shouldn't have been parking in, but I did anyways. And I'm like, well, I can stay in LA, pay $80 for a crappy murder hotel, or I can go to Vegas and pay $40 for a beautiful 4-star casino hotel. So I'm like, how far is Vegas? I check my phone. 4.5 hours. Okay, let's go. And I'm driving to Vegas, and not to mention the night before, I was so hyped up about seeing BTS the next day. I didn't sleep. I maybe like on and off, like naps for maybe a cumulative number of hours of 4 hours, and then I started driving first thing in the morning to LA to meet up with my friend Ari. Actually, they took me to beautiful and amazing, delicious Japanese and Korean food. But anyways, basically no sleep. 11:30 p.m. I drive 4.5 hours. Eventually would get there at 3:30 a.m. But anyways, as I'm driving to get me through those 4.5 hours without falling asleep and exploding and dying, I am so hyped up on BTS. I'm like, hey, let's like use this hype. And so I found their set list, like the order and the list of songs that they played at the concert, like, 30 minutes ago. And I started playing it on Spotify in my car. So it's late at night, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., pitch dark, from LA going through sort of rural California, through rural Nevada, headed towards Las Vegas, middle of nowhere. It's a desert landscape, pitch black. And I don't know if it was because I was by myself, or it was super late, or like the driving self-reflective vibe. because it's silent. You're on the road by yourself. There's no other cars around, just you and the road and the stars. And you start reflecting things that you don't usually come to you, come to you, and that's really, a big reason why I went on the road trip too. I'm listening to Spotify, the same BTS concert playlist, and Life Goes On, the song, comes on, and I start bawling. I start crying, sobbing at 80 miles an hour on the interstate, going ooh, 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 and but still trying to sing along while I'm crying. And yeah, that's how I cry apparently. That I learned something about myself too. I just go ooh, 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 ooh. And then, so that song ends. Some more songs play, and we get to the second to last song, and Love Myself. Just the intro starts coming on, and I start bawling even harder at 90 miles per hour this time, going ooh, and I'm still trying to keep one hand on the wheel while I'm trying to use my hand to wipe my tears off my face and off my eyes and off my glasses. And my glasses are all wet and blurry, and I'm singing unintelligibly, and I'm completely wet with tears and snot and sweat. I'm a friggin' mess. And the playlist ends, and it suddenly hits me. I have to pee. This is so stupid. I get to Vegas. I get to Las Vegas, day 2 of my road trip. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Day 2, I met up with my singer-musician friend, Roshan, who I met in VRChat, and we jammed in the park. We had so much fun. I was singing and dancing. They were singing and playing their guitar, and between you and me, they're my favorite singer guitarists on VRChat. Because they're just a really, really amazing singer, guitarist, and just person overall too. But one of the things that I think make them, such a great singer, is they're super hypercritical, towards themselves, they're like a perfectionist. And they started playing, and we started jamming, playing music at the park, and they told me, I'm super rusty, and I noticed how, every now and then, Roshan would be playing his guitar, and he might miss a chord. So we'd be playing a song, and we might miss a chord, and when he misses a chord, I know because he goes fuck, and so in the middle of singing a song. So we'd be at the park, right? It's all serene. I'm dancing, right? I'm doing some of this. I'm doing some of that, right? And Roshan would be like, "If life is a movie, then you're the best." Fuck, and but isn't she lovely, made from fuck? That just kept happening over and over and over again, and I'm here dancing, and every time he goes fuck, I'm like, what? And trying not to trip over myself, and I totally called him out on it, like a good friend does, and he was like, oh yeah, it's like a thing I do, and they told me a story of how in high school, their singing friend invited them to play guitar on stage in high school at a school assembly. So, imagine audience is full and they're doing mic checks. The students have all already assembled. They're on stage doing mic checks. The singer, taps their mic, tap, tap. And Roshan picks up his guitar, starts tuning the guitar. hits an, oh, wait, I lost my mirror. Hits an off-key string and goes, fuck! But you see, and I need to turn my mirror back on, but you see, kind of like that, the mic, they were doing mic checks, so the mic was already on. And it was a huge auditorium. So what it actually sounded like was, brum, 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 tuning the strings, but, and then fuck, 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 fuck. And it just echoed through the entire auditorium, and all the kids started laughing, and Roshan was so fucking embarrassed. And after that, for the rest of his high school days, he was known as the fuck guy. So walking down the hall, some kids would, be passing by him on the other side, and they go, "Hey, fuck guy! What up, fuck guy? Yo, you the fuck guy?" And I don't know what it is, but the image of his fuck, 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 like echoing through that auditorium, that silent auditorium of 600 students, not interested in being there, they're there for a mandatory school assembly, and just cracking up and laughing at his face made me giggle like a child. So I had a great time at the park. I don't know how to stop clicking those buttons, so I guess we'll just be dealing with it. I leave Vegas, and one thing that the few friends who've actually ridden with me know, has like seen me drive, know that I'm toxic on the road. I should really chill out, because I know logically me passing one car or however many cars, 5 cars, 10 cars, isn't gonna make a difference in a 13, 16, 30-hour drive. But all of the vehicles on the road, well, no, hang on. Of all the vehicles on the road I hate, because I hate all of them, the one I hate the most are mother truckers. I fucking hate mother truckers. Every single time, they're going like 50 miles per hour in a 70 zone. And if you're not from the US, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, I'm rolling up behind them going 90 miles per hour. And I swear, the mother trucker is here on the right lane, right where it should be, going 50 miles an hour. I'm trying to zoom past them, going 90. I swear, they see me rolling up in their rearview mirror, and it's like they talk to their imaginary pee bottle friend, like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck with this little Honda Civic. Watch this," and they pull into my lane. And I have to fucking slam on my brakes and drop my speed down by like 40 miles per hour. And I have to sit behind this slow-ass mother trucker for 5 minutes waiting for it to pass the even slower-ass mother trucker in front of it. And once it's finally back in the right lane where it belongs, I blast past this mother trucker who's probably has 3 full pee bottles, pals, next to him, an empty bag of beef jerky, a 3x3 photo of their spouse and baby they haven't seen in 2 weeks, running on 2 hours of sleep in 4 days, and I blast past them going 90 with my passive-aggressive high beams on, right? And my fucking middle finger out the window. Yeah, totally toxic. But that's why I love Texas. I love, there's so many reasons I love Texas. I love Texas. You see, in Texas, there's a lane with a sign up top that specifically says no trucks. And I love that. Having a no truck lane removes so much stress from my drive. Yeah. Who knew discrimination could be such a good experience once in a while? I've been on the wrong side of discrimination for so long, it feels nice. Finally being on the white side. Okay, moving on. um, so, but I'm really lucky, and I should really back off on the toxicity. I'm really lucky because somehow, some way, I ended up with really, really nice friends. And a lot of the friends that I visited on the road trip, they were nice enough to let me stay in their home. And it saved me a lot of money on hotels and stress of finding a hotel, and it meant we got more bonding time and time to talk to each other and get to know each other and chat and stuff, because you sure as hell can't really get too much opportunity to talk to me in VR. So and even when we're in a pandemic as well. So now when a friend lets me stay at their place and I'm staying with them, I try to do something nice to pay them back for their hospitality, like cooking or cleaning. Like I did this with pretty much all my friends that I visited, because I'm like, not because I'm nice or anything, like because I'm OCD about mooching off of my friends or owing anybody anything. And of course, me being me, I can't just straight up tell them I want to do something for them. So like I make it about me, right? I'm like, hey, I'm oh shit. You got ahead of me. I'm getting tired of eating out. You mind if I borrowed your kitchen, make myself a home cooked meal? All good. But they always say yes. Like they always say yes, and bam, they've fallen for my trap. But just this time, I hit an unexpected snag. This has never happened before. Maybe if I move back, it'll be better. Yeah, I'll move back. Just like that, I hit an unexpected snag. I don't know how to explain it to you, but their kitchen looked like a tornado collided with a hurricane in the middle of a magnitude 10 earthquake, while a flaming meteor smashed into a nuke while Cthulhu and Satan burned the fucking kitchen to the ground. You couldn't walk in it, let alone cook. Now, normally I get triggered by dirty kitchens. Like, when there are dirty dishes in the sink, trash on the counter, anything but a completely clean and clear counter and sink, I go ballistic. I live with roommates, so oftentimes, and actually I have to amend that because I wrote this last year. In the before, like last year, I'll have woken up. This doesn't happen anymore, but before, I'll have woken up on, say, Sunday morning. I haven't eaten, and when I'm like tired and I haven't eaten, I'm hungry, or like I haven't used the bathroom yet. I have to use the bathroom. I'm constipated. Like I'm like a baby. I'm cranky, and so on a Sunday morning, I'm cranky, and I walk downstairs to the kitchen, and I see dirty dishes and trash everywhere. And what I do is I'll take a quick glance, to see nobody's around, and then I go, motherfucking fuck shit cunt, motherfuck fuck ass motherfucker, and then and then I proceed to clean it up, because I realized two things. One, like, we chose to live together. Like I sort of play this reel in my head, right? Like, any one of us could move out anytime. Nothing's stopping us. We're here because we want to be, and like, so much so that we're willing to deal with each other's shit. They deal with my loud ass belting and singing and banging and thumping at 3 a.m. And my asshole-ish personality. And I, can once in a while, clean up the trash. It's kind of like the unspoken agreement. And the second thing I realize is, and also the reason I make sure nobody's around when I go fuck shit cunt, is I know I'm not yelling at them. I know that. I'm not yelling at them or anybody else. I'm yelling at my childhood. Cause my mom used to torture and abuse and traumatize me psychologically, emotionally, and physically as a child over like cleaning after myself and keeping things obsessively spotless. And it worked. I now have this obsessive compulsive disorder where everywhere I go, everything I see, things have to look completely spotless and organized. Otherwise, I'll get triggered and flip out and motherfucking cunt ass motherfuck shit ass fuck. But honestly, I can't blame my mother either. Like, we all try to improve upon our parents, filter out as much bad shit our parents did to us, and we try to give our kids and other people we care about the good stuff, a little bit of good stuff we have left. So I could only imagine like what the hell of a childhood my mother went through. So I've accepted it. I'm living with this curse for the rest of my life. So least I could do is try, make sure there's no one else in the room when I'm doing it. Anyways, so that's how I normally react to dirty kitchens. But let me tell you something. My friends' tornado, hurricane, nuclear warfare, wrath of God, flaming shit fire of a kitchen was nothing like I had ever seen. This kitchen had descended so far down into the flames of hell, it came out the other side of a black hole, high-fiving the dummy on Elon Musk's space Tesla, floating out in the next galaxy. Listen, there was so much shit going on in this kitchen, I completely skipped past my usual anger over here and all the fuck shit cunt motherfucker and just went to like, oh my god, are you okay? Luckily, one sec, I gotta take a water break. Oh Lord. Luckily, my friend went out to do something, and turns out I had finished up unpacking. And I had a little extra time, I figured. I'm like, okay, well, hey, I might as well, get started cleaning this kitchen, right? So we can cook tonight. And to be fair, well, no, not to be fair, just to give you a better idea of the type of person my friend is. Get this, before they left, they were like, yeah, maybe we can go to Target. Target's this it's a store, go look it up. Maybe we can go to Target and like buy some cleaning supplies. That's a good idea. We can clean the kitchen. We'll go to Target, buy some cleaning supplies, some gloves, some sponges, some soap, and then we can clean together. Brilliant idea, right? I start cleaning, and I find at least 3 of every cleaning item they said they were all out of. I found 3 boxes of gloves. I found 3 sponges. I found 3 cleaning detergents, just hidden in random nooks of the fucking kitchen. And I'm like, oh great. I don't have to go to Target. So I do what I always do. I put my BTS playlist on shuffle, and I just jam in the kitchen for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 4 hours, and I'm just putting the dirty dishes away, scrubbing the grime off the counter, throwing away the rotten trash, and I swear I could hear the flies screaming, "No, I'm not at home!" Ah! Like, I felt like I just committed mass genocide and wiped out an entire ecosystem of fly colonies off the face of that nightmare fuel, grudge hair seeping out of the walls, exorcism, crab walking demon of a fucking kitchen. And they came back. And I finished cleaning the kitchen. We cooked, ate dinner, and it was delicious. Story has a happy end. So I'm leaving Texas. Had a great time. Had a great time with my friend. And back on the road. Yeah, I fucking triumphed. Oh, that wasn't even a battle. That was a war. A 4-hour war. But back on the road now. And let me tell you, if you ever get the chance to go on a cross-country road trip, I promise you, everybody's first thought is, I hate driving. I hate driving too. Trust me, I hate driving too. But what I always try to say, but you gotta experience yourself to really understand it, is driving on a cross-country road trip with no destination in mind and just going east, like I did. I stop where I want to stop. I eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm tired. I go pull over to check out something cool when I see something cool. It's the most rewarding and peaceful and freeing experience you will have ever experienced. So, with that said, you see some weird shit driving across the country. So there's this one night I'm driving. Pitch dark. Only the light from the cars. Surrounded by miles and miles of forest. And in my rear view mirror, I see 2 cars pulling up with their hazard lights flashing. Now, let me tell you one thing. No car on the road pulls up to me. Like I never see a car getting closer and closer in my rearview mirror. The only time I see a car pulling up to me is if it's a cop trying to stop me from speeding. But no, there were these 2 cars. They were not cops. And they had their hazard lights flashing, and before I knew it, they passed me. They didn't just pull up, they passed me. And I think they were the only 2 cars on that entire road trip who did pass me. We were going like that interstate was had a speed limit of 70 miles per hour, right? Big interstate, very fast speed limit. I was going like 90, right? Okay, I was going 96, but they were going 110. How did I know they were going 110? Because here I am going 90, right? And the two cars with the hazard lights zoom past me at 110. So what's my first reaction, right? My first reaction is, I wonder what the hype is about. So a moment later, there's three cars. There's three cars with our hazard lights on, going 110 down the pitch dark interstate, and sadly, I was only able to keep up with them for about like 10 seconds. You see, I drive a dinky little Honda Civic. Don't get me wrong, it's a great car for getting you reliably from point A to point B with very little maintenance, very little headache. But once I take it above 100, or realistically, once I take it above 90 even, it starts looking and sounding like a Looney Tunes car. Like, the seat starts bouncing up and down, and you can audibly hear the internal parts jiggling around, and the spinning parts like screeching from the friction. Like any moment, the car is just gonna blow smoke and like a choo-choo train, and the car's just gonna fall apart. Like, you know how like the first the wheels roll off, then the car doors, then the roof falls off, and everything just sort of like rolls off piece by piece like in a cartoon until it's just me, the seat, and the steering wheel gliding across the asphalt. Another weird shit that happened. That's never happened to me in my life of having a car is in Georgia. I'm going to Georgia to visit some friends, and in Georgia I go to a Shell gas station. Shell gas stations are my favorite because in my tiny little noggin, for some reason, I think Shell gas lasts longer than other gas. I don't know if that's true, but it makes me feel, a little safer, peace of mind that my car runs a little farther with Shell gas because I don't want to get stranded anywhere. I'm at a Shell gas station. I use for those of you who have a car or have filled up gas, right? I use that standard automatic clip that keeps the gas pumping, so I don't have to keep my hand there holding it. So I pull that clip over, the gas is pumping, and I just sort of walk away, right? I'm like washing my car with the little, the little wiper thing. I'm just waiting for it to just sort of click and turn off when it's done. So I'm watching the screen that shows you how many gallons it's pumping and how much it costs. 1 gallon, 2 gallons, a little while later, 9 gallons, 10, 11. Then out of nowhere, gas starts spewing out of my tank and dripping down the side of my car, splashing onto the ground. And I'm like, oh, this is where it ends. And I'm taking a whole gas station full of people on their way to work with me in a fiery ball of death. And like after about like 15 seconds, maybe like 5 seconds, it felt like a long time. After a long time, I snap out of it. I run over, reach in, stop the gas. Meanwhile, the gas is still everywhere. And all I can think of is not like how to clean up or like safety protocol. No, all I can think of is the opening scene to Zoolander. That old movie, Zoolander, where the opening scene has those stupid models spraying gasoline on each other. It's a comedy. And some random guy, out of nowhere, lights up a cigarette and boom, ball of flames. That's all I could think of. But, nah, I didn't die there. Luckily, there was no smoking idiot, and I just wiped the gasoline off the side of my car, told the lady her pump was broken in the gas station, and went on my merry way. So the reason I went to Georgia is because I went to school there. I was visiting college friends in Georgia. So this one day, and I stayed there for several days, I had a few friends to visit. I got to one of my friends' apartments, and I meet their two roommates. And we're sitting in the living room, I'm just chatting a little bit, and we're gonna grab some food. And suddenly, I realize, and I do this so often, I realize I'm in a room with 3 psychos and a dumbass. And I'm one of the psychos, of course. But the dumbass had no idea they were sitting in a room full of psychos. So, let me explain. As a wide, bald comedian, Bill Burr once said, the best thing about being a psycho is you can spot other psychos. It's all in the eyes. So I like to play this game where I spot psychos on the street or on TV or on the internet, everywhere I go. Who the heck knows if I'm BSing or if it's real or if it's not? But I like to play it as a game, and it's fun. And the fun thing about this game is there are so many flavors of psychos. It's fun to figure out which flavor of psycho they are and what triggers them to go psycho mode. So I'll show you what I mean. The first psycho in the room was a bitch. There was this person was an insecure psycho, which tells me this person gets triggered when someone pokes at their insecurity or is mean to them, is an asshole to them. And the psycho is a defense mechanism, a survival mechanism to help them fight back and survive a shitty childhood. How do I know? Because I was this flavor of psycho in high school. It was a fucking jungle, and I did what I had to do to survive, so don't judge me. The second psycho the second psycho is a yandere. So, those of you who know anime know that this is a psycho who doesn't quite understand human relationships and might end up accidentally murdering you with a smile on their face. A little twinkle in their eye, with their head tilted sideways a little bit while they do it, sort of stabbing you with that knife. And honestly, this person probably had some shitty relationships growing up in their childhood as well. See, you can tell. Well, yeah, there's a lot you can learn in just a few minutes of talking to somebody, but strangers especially. But you can tell what triggers a psycho if a psycho's eyes widen while they're talking about something. Like, whatever they're talking about then, when their eyes widen, that's their trigger. So that's how you know. How do I know? Because, again, I was this flavor of psycho throughout college and my first job. And honestly, I still have some of that psycho, those little psycho curry spices left in my lower intestine. Yeah, I was a freaking monster to someone I cared a lot about. As I'm hearing myself talk about this out loud, it's making me wonder if these people are psychos at all, or if I'm just projecting all my psycho personalities onto my friends and onto other people. But plowing ahead, the third psycho is a tyrant, the control freak. That's the type of psycho who has expectations of everything in the world and what it's supposed to be, and they get triggered when something or someone doesn't meet those expectations, like an obsessive itch that they can never fully scratch. Again, developed from a shitty childhood. How do I know? You guessed it. That's me right now. That's me right now. That's the curse I live in right now. Case in point, the dirty dishes in the kitchen that don't belong there. But like honestly, I in my little noggin here, I truly believe that psychos are among us. But what are you gonna do? Parenting is hard. And let's face it, there are a lot of shitty parents out there producing one psycho after another. Oh, and that dumbass in the group, 3 psychos and that one dumbass in the room, that guy was the only one of us that had good fucking parents, and probably an okay childhood. But just to sort of share a little empathy and sympathy, what one may call a psycho, another may call self-preservation, or devotion, or even leadership. What's right, what's wrong? See, I think the real winning strategy is to learn about and understand and be able to spot each flavor of psycho and what triggers them. Once you understand what triggers them, I feel like psychos are pretty predictable. Like, you just gotta stay away from that line of fire, and you'll be fine. Well, speaking of psychos, there were actually 2 times that I got triggered on my road trip. Not including all the fucking mother truckers who need to get the fuck off my road. The first time I got triggered, I'd already made it to the east side. I'm gonna have to pee so bad after this. Eventually I made it to the east, and I got a chance to see my friend Phoenix perform their debut concert at an anime convention. It was so much fun. But see, originally, I was just gonna take like a half country road trip to Texas for some barbecue. 'Cause what better reason to travel than food, right? In October, I went to Idaho for potatoes, and this time I was just gonna go to Texas for barbecue. But around the same time in November, when I decided I was gonna do my road trip, my friend Phoenix DMs me on Discord like, "Hey, random question, but I'm gonna be performing my own concert IRL in December." And I'm like, "Huh? How far is that from Texas?" "Huh? Sure, I can make it." And if I'm going there, I might as well go visit my college friends and go to the East Coast and see my VR friends over there and go visit my family, and then it turned into a whole ass road trip. So that's sort of how that happened. I was so sure old Elizabeth wouldn't be able to handle a 3rd cross-country road trip. I'd driven her for 2 cross-country road trips before already. The first one was Seattle, Key West. The other one was like California down the south and then up the coast to New York, and then completely around like Ohio and Kansas and then back to Idaho and California. This one was mainly just south and like a U back, but I didn't think my car would survive, so I packed a light. I was planning on my car breaking down, and if my car did break down, the plan was I just sell it, fly back with what I can carry on my back. Whoa, what happened? And best case scenario, I just fly back and take, end my road trip early and take home what I can carry on my back. Worst case scenario, I get stranded in the desert and get eaten by coyotes, and but if I die, I die. No point in planning for that. So I had so much fun. We ended up meeting a bunch of friends. We watched Phoenix's concert. Let me tell you, Phoenix's concert was spectacular. Some of you folks who might have seen the stream, got to see it. They sang, they played piano, they performed the original song that they wrote themselves, and they danced. a whole hour-long concert. I was so hyped up the entire time. It was an absolutely incredible experience. It was hands down my favorite concert that I saw on that road trip that I got to see for free. I'm trying so hard right now not to go motherfuck cunt shit motherfucker at that fucking talk show button. Anyways, so the anime convention, okay, it was amazing. Phoenix's concert, it was amazing, mind-blowing experience. The next day, however, so the anime convention we went to, where the concert was, aside from Phoenix's concert, they had an expo, a bunch of games, a bunch of panels and other performances too. And the day after Phoenix's concert, I'm hyped up, right? And I see, oh, on the schedule, there's another Idol performance the next day. Fast forward to the next day, we're like, okay, hey, let's go see it. This could be really cool and get to see another group. We plan our whole morning around it. We eat breakfast. We make sure that like we finish breakfast on time so we have enough time to drive there. And enough time to like get there early and get front row seats and stuff. And so 1 p.m. The Idol thing on the schedule starts. We walk in. The room is oddly enough set up panel style, meaning like you got your chairs for the audience. But up front, there's this long panel table meant for like a lot of people, like, 3 or 4 or 5 people to be sitting up there and chatting and stuff with microphones and with laptops. There were screens, microphones, and chairs taking up all that space where the performers are supposed to be performing. Because how else are they gonna be like dancing and moving around and singing and stuff? So I'm like, how are they gonna perform? Okay, so schedule says 1 p.m., right? I checked the time after a while, and I'm like, 1:12 p.m. And it still hasn't started. Okay. Well, alright, 1:16 p.m. They pick up their mics, start talking. We clap, right? I'm excited. And they're still sitting behind that table. That's sort of blocking between them and us. And they introduce themselves, and the first thing they say is, yeah, we're a 5-person Idol group, but 2 of our members got COVID, so there's only 2 of us here today. And I'm like, yikes. How are you going to make the group choreo work then? Like, I was really worried for them, like a 5-person choreo and you only got 2 people left. Like, how are you gonna work that out? You really have to like freestyle and really think on your feet to make that group choreo work. I was really worried for them, and I really wanted them to succeed. So they put on this like Who's That Idol game on the screen, and I'm like, that's an interesting opening act for the concert. 1:32 p.m. One of them's like, hey, do y'all want to see a dance? And I'm in the audience like, woo! Clap, 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 clap. But in my mind, I'm like, about fucking time. Like, the fuck did you think we were doing here? One of the 2 idols stand up. And as they stand up, they're like, okay, I haven't practiced since 2017. And I'm like, what? What did she just say? Music starts playing. It's Start Dash from Love Live, the anime. I love this song. I start waving my arms and chanting along, go, Start Dash, whatever the fucking lyrics are. She starts dancing. And I could not believe what I was seeing. It looked like a tornado colliding with a hurricane inside a magnitude 11 earthquake while Alien and Predator Death Star blasted 9 planets to oblivion while Cthulhu raped Satan in the fucking ass on top of his mother's grave. I was so triggered. I was ready to stab the closest living organism next to me. And that was bad. Because sitting to the left and right of me were my friends Blizz and Snow. So the instant the song ends, I take out my phone and pretend to take a phone call at that exact time and start dash the hell out of that room, out of that building, out of that neighborhood. I walked down the river, as far away from the convention center as I could, for like an hour. And once I got far enough, I looked around me, made sure nobody was around me, and went, motherfuck, fucking ass, shit, cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck, shit, cunt, ass, motherfuck, for about like 10 minutes. Sorry. As I'm telling this story, I'm remembering what happened, and it's re-triggering me. Motherfucking fuck shit ass cocksucker cunt ass motherfuck fucking a fuck of an idol fuck. 10 minutes later, I calm the fuck down, and the first thing, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are looking at me like I'm crazy, but like, give me a chance. The first thing you need to understand about me is I am hyper critical and judgy when it comes to any form of art I care about. So when I see a shitty artist produce shitty art on YouTube, professionals especially, I trash them so hard. I scream total toxicity at the top of my lungs at my monitor while my notepad fucked up. While fist slamming my table as if the artist can hear me or give a damn about what my unqualified dumbass has to say. I've actually slammed on my table. You can hear it right here. This one. I've actually slammed on that table so much from bad music videos. My table is supposed to be black all over. You can tell where I've fist slammed that table because there's a giant splotch that's been slammed so much, it's just returned back to its natural brown wood color. Okay, that doesn't help my case really, but look, I justify my behavior like this. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Table Sun is working very hard and doesn't deserve any of this abuse. But I justify my terrible behavior with this. It goes both ways because when I see a shit performance, I flip my fucking shit. And when I see a BTS performance, I have an orgasm. 2 orgasms actually. Once at the BTS concert and once afterwards in my car. But no. When I see an amazing performance, like Phoenix's beautiful musical journey of a concert, I get hyped up. I jump up and down, waving my glow sticks like a maniac. So when I saw this idol group, this poison gas bombing, hostage waterboarding, war crime of an idol dance, I went psycho mode. Look, one of the reasons I love art is because I feel like I can peer into someone's soul through their art. I feel like I can read someone's mind and learn more about somebody by studying their art. And I'm obsessed with learning about people because I've learned over the years, everybody has their own story. And every now and then I stumble upon a gem of a personality and life story. Not this asshole on stage. Though. Not this asshole performing on stage right there. You want to know what I saw? All I saw the moment they started moving was insecurity. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? What am I even doing? Imagine paying $300 for a concert ticket, flying a whole day, planning a whole trip around seeing an artist perform. They get on stage and all they say to you is, why am I here? Why am I doing this? What am I even doing? Dude! Nut up or shut up, you fucking jerk off. It was so disrespectful. An audience comes to watch your performance and you have the fucking nerve to say you didn't practice for 4 years, and then when you finally perform after half an hour of bullshittery, this is all you have to show for yourself? I just want to take assholes like that, tie them up with rope, drop them off in a desert, tie them up to a cactus, starve them for about 2.5 weeks, give them a bowl of water so they're barely hanging on to life, and any rain or cactus juice they can squeeze out, then go back 2.5 weeks later, pour a bottle of water over their fucking head so they wake up, and then just be like, you're gonna fucking perform like that again? You're gonna not practice 4 years ever again? Huh? And like, I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna either stay at home, find something else to do with your life, or you're gonna practice 30 hours a day, 11 days a week until you suffer a severe knee injury. Then you're gonna get knee surgery, and then after you finish rehab, you're gonna fucking come back and practice until you have something you can call a fucking performance. Got it? God. Bitch didn't even have the choreo memorized. They were I'm seriously getting triggered right now. They were standing next to a fucking laptop, looking over their right shoulder the entire time to know what moves to fuck up on next. I need a river to walk down again. Okay. I'm done. I'm gonna seal that Psycho Genie back up into the bottle until the next stand-up special. Okay. Oh wait. The second time I got triggered on my road trip. So I had the wonderful pleasure of hanging out with my friends, Aster and Yum Yum and Daspra. We've been friends for a very long time, and we finally got to meet up with two of them. I met the other person once before? Twice? Once? I don't remember. We're really good friends, though. You can take my word for it. We did it all. We got takeout. We watched a movie. We even had a slumber party. And, you know, we got to talk all night till the sun came out. And we even danced. We had a wonderful time together. And another thing I love about Daspra's town is it has really good food, too. And Daspra recommended this New Zealand-style burger place. And immediately, it sounded delicious. Also, if you didn't know, food is my number one joy in life. My priorities in life are, which also happen to be my priorities for travel, are number 1, food, number 2, scenery, and number 3, friends. In that order. Why are friends third? Because friends aren't as tasty as food, and they aren't as nice to look at as scenery. Easy, case closed, mic drop, bam. So, that's fine. Nobody wants to be my friend. Also, the psycho, selfish, jackass thing from before, but also because of this. But like, because in a Batman Joker comic book scenario where the villain has my friend hanging over a tank of acid, I would without hesitation, sacrifice my friend for a pistachio gelato from Rome while watching the sunset over the Pacific Ocean. Like, I can just imagine it. The burst of flavor from the Sicilian pistachios, and the gelato made from locally sourced cow milk. I can't even begin to describe like how amazing that combination of flavor is, and the fresh wafer and cone that they just made hot off the press, and they even put like a melted chocolate syrup in the bottom of the cone. So after you're done, and even like whipped cream on the top. So you start with the whipped cream and the wafer, and then you're eating that creamy, beautiful gelato with texture you've never experienced before. You combine it with that cone, and then by the end, the end of that journey is this beautiful, luscious, rich chocolate. I just made all that stuff up improv because that's how much I care about that pistachio gelato. It's not even in my script. But, okay, that gelato over the Pacific Ocean breeze blowing in my face while the warmth of the sun cradles my face as it slowly sets over the horizon underneath the screams of my friend drowning in acid. Isn't it beautiful? My friend will be fine. Actually, if you think about it logically, the acid would probably burn off the rope, and they could just swim out. Anyways, back to Dasper's burger joint. I have to pee. I'm only like halfway through. Back to Dasper's burger joint. Because apparently, this is what happens when you have introverted friends. Everyone else in the room is disgusted by the idea of socially interacting with another human being over the phone, and a stranger no less. So I was the one, naturally, to make all the takeout orders. Easy. Done it a million times. I call up the burger joint. I call up the burger joint. I'm like, hi, I'd like to order take, and then immediately before I could finish, hi, can you please hold? I'm like, okay, all right, no big deal, right? No big deal. I'm having a great time with my friends. We're about to get burgers, and I've held on the line for multiple times, right? I understand. They're busy. Okay. 2 minutes later. Hi, welcome to Dasper's Burger Joint. How can I help you? I'm like, hi, can I order takeout, please? I'm ordering 4 burgers. Hello? 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 Hi? Hi. And my eyes widen. You can imagine it. I go, yeah, I'd like to order 4 burgers. First one's I forget what they're called. First one's the Waka Waka burger, medium, fries. Second burger's the Twiddle Woodle burger. Okay, well done. Hello? You want to order a burger? I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not even fucking exaggerating. Okay. And by now, Dasper, Yum Yum, and Aster catch wind of what's going on. So they all come out to the living room where I am, and they're sitting down enjoying the show, right? At this point, my eyes are as big as fucking golf balls. Yes, I'd like to order 4 burgers. First one's the Waka Waka burger, medium. We want fries with that. Second one's the Twiddle Woodle burger, well done with fries. Hold on, first burger. I could audibly hear him scrolling through the menu on his little cashier screen, the little computer screen. What kind of side do you want with that? Okay, well, Waka Waka burger, medium, fries. Okay. I'm going to fast forward through this conversation because if I try to recount the entire call with you, we'd be here all night. No joke. Fast forward to the end of the call. I made it through all 4 burgers. I don't know how. I made it through all 4 burgers. I'm like, okay, I'm going to read my order back to you because anyways, I'm not going to say something mean right now. I'm going to read my order back to you. And before I could finish that sentence, he interrupts me and said, no, I'll read it back to you. I'll read it back to you. At this point, my phone's in my right hand. And Dasper was nice enough just to make the ordering process easier for me. He wrote down the 4 orders. I'm getting so triggered right now. Dasper wrote down the orders on a Post-it note and handed it to me. It was so nice. And so I had that Post-it note, even though I don't need it, because I'm used to ordering stuff. I can have something memorized, but I had the Post-it note in my left hand when we started. And at this moment, I just reflexively crushed that Post-it note in my hand, and my head snapped sideways onto my left shoulder, and you could literally hear my fucking neck crack, just like you hear it now, and the fucking peanut gallery in front of me was cracking up like school children. After 5 more minutes of me correcting our order, I go, goodbye, and before he could say anything or make another fucking dumbass comment, I immediately hung up. Grabbed Dasper's couch cushion next to me and went, ah!
It's true. It really happened.
Wow. Yeah. IRL, my VR broke too. My legs and body contorted. Cause I was so fucking triggered. But yeah, that was the second time I went psycho mode. I have to meditate to come down from that. Look. It was probably because of the cell service, right? He couldn't hear me. Even though the takeout lady from the last night heard me perfectly fine. But if not that, it's probably just some poor kid, right? What? 13 years old. You can't work at 13, but I don't care. I'm making up the backstory. 13 years old, had a ton of acne on his face, barely knows how to read, just smoked a lot of weed before coming to work, and is just trying to figure out what life is. So, I have to give this kid a fucking HBO television series backstory, just so I don't walk up to him in the back alley where he's taking his smoke break, throw a black bag over his head, drive him out to the desert, tie him to a cactus, and just Gordon Ramsay scream in his face how to properly work in the service industry for 4 hours. But nah, who am I kidding? I don't know shit about good service either. I want to stab everybody who fucking comes up to me. But aside from that, my stay at Daspro's was absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. But speaking of Daspro, furries.
Wow.
Oh! So, speaking of Daspros, furries.
Again, wow.
Hang on. Let me change into my grown-up avatar for this one. One sec. Okay, there we go. This is temporary, don't worry. Now, I'm not here to make fun of furries, because all of my friends who consider themselves furries are some of the nicest, kindest people I've ever met. That said, I would never pick a furry to be my financial advisor. Could you imagine that? Good afternoon, Mr. Furry. Thank you for taking my appointment. And during your lunch break, too. No problem. What can I do you for? Fuck. Alright, so, I need help managing my finances. I run a small business, you see, and I'm running low on cash, and, based on your experience and financial expertise, what should I do? Listen, this ain't gonna be here. This ain't gonna be easy to hear, but I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you want to succeed, this is your only option at this point. Okay, Mr. Furry, I understand. What do I need to do? Okay, first you're gonna need to take a $5,000 loan. Okay, got it. Then you're gonna take that loan, a $5,000 loan, and invest it. Okay, in a fursuit. Okay, what? And if you can't pay back that loan on the fursuit, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to sell your hentai website to some other jerk-off. Okay, got it. I'll do exactly as you say. Thank you very much, Mr. Furry. Hey, before I go, what's that you've been drinking? Oh, this? This is my cum chalice. I'm sorry, that was gross. Now take that one joke too far. No, that joke, all of that is based on true stories, and you fucking know it. Here's another dirty one while I'm still in my grown-up avatar. Every now and then, on my road trip, I would get myself a hotel. All by myself. Real quick, let me backtrack. Everything I'm saying is a joke. Usually I find the comedy in stupid generalizations that are not true. And none of those things that I said about, okay, no, some of those things were true, but only about one person. Anyways, fast forwarding back to present day, every now and then on my road trip, I would get myself a hotel. All by myself, and just take a break from staying with people. Now, I didn't realize this or know why at the time, but looking back, I realized something subconsciously drove me to do that. It was because I was feeling horny. For some reason, I couldn't relieve my horniness at someone else's house. I needed to get someplace, comfy and private to be vulnerable like that. But yeah, I realized something was up when I was paying $50 for a hotel instead of staying at someone's place because I was horny. And I don't get horny often. I'm 90% asexual. I'm as sexual as a sea cucumber. I'm horny 3 out of the 30 days of a month. And those 3 days are the day before, during, and after a full moon. Yeah, I'm literally a lunatic if you didn't think I was a psycho already. The other 27 days, I just prefer to spend quality time with the people I care about. Now, some people call people who aren't lewd all the time wholesome. Like being wholesome is pure, and being lewd is dirty. But I feel like they just derive love and happiness from different places. I like to bring this up a lot. 5 love languages. Look it up on Google. There are 5 love languages: quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, and gifts. Different ways for people to express and receive love. And for me, physical touch is just lower on my tier list. And lower for, folks who are called wholesome, I would imagine. See, like, it works like this. If your love language is quality time, or acts of service, or words of affirmation, you're wholesome. If your love language is physical touch, you're lewd. And if your love language is gifts, you're a gold digger. But they're all valid forms of feeling and giving love. Speaking of wholesome, I'm pretty sure the rest of this is wholesome, so I'm going to change back now. And we're back. New Orleans. On my way driving back home, I stopped by New Orleans. Now, I gotta tell you, I absolutely love New Orleans. I love the jazz music in New Orleans. I even stumbled upon a band playing on the street and danced with them for a while. You all might have seen that little stream. Well, I didn't actually dance with them. Like, in VR chat, I totally would have gone like right up and started dancing with them. We totally would have vibed and jammed. But IRL, I just kind of like awkwardly danced to the music, like across the walkway from them. Like kind of hoping Senpai would notice me and invite me over, but see, but I understand why they didn't. Like, they're street performers. They're performing for a living, and they were collecting money too. So I imagine the reasons they play are different from why I, dance and stuff. That and also my VR chat avatar is way more approachable and less threatening. So after that, I went to my favorite park in New Orleans. It was something out of The Princess and the Frog. Beautiful, droopy New Orleans trees, a beautiful lake, and ducks, and old stone bridges. And as I was walking, I found some graffiti written on the wall of an old abandoned, like tiny hollow building. The first one read something like, "Oh, praise the Lord," and another one read like, "Freedom, this America," like something like that. And one read, "The chemicals in the water are turning the friggin' frogs gay." And first of all, it's the chemicals in the water are turning the frogs gay, not is, and because the subject of the verb here is chemicals, which is, right, plural, and water, which is singular, is just the object of the preposition, so it's are. Second of all, I think that honestly, that make a pretty interesting sequel to Disney's Princess and the Frog. Like think of all the themes it would hit. There's the chemicals in the water, so that's environmental protection right there. There's the frog's search for identity and journey of self-discovery. I mean, who doesn't relate to that? And then there's just gay. Oh, and spoiler alert, in the end, the frog finds out he was gay all along, and the chemicals in the water just gave him colon cancer. Like, the last scene on his deathbed, I would imagine, he's like, fuck, I gotta sit down again. Last scene, right? On his deathbed with his femboy princess over here, holding his hand. One of his limp frog flippers. And like, I don't regret those beautiful summer days we spent swimming in that lake in New Orleans, or being dragged into an angry hair cream selling Dumbo ass looking conspiracy theorist podcast, because all that made me realize what was really important to me, made me discover who I really was, and helped me find and spend my 7.5 frog years with this femboy princess of my dreams. It's been a beautiful life, but now I'm gonna croak. And then scene. Oh, and later that night, I went to this restaurant that had the best New Orleans style fried catfish, and oh my god, the hush puppies were so good. I am pregnant now. The last stop I made was San Antonio. Now, I love walking down the San Antonio Riverwalk in December. I love it so much. They have all the Christmas lights up. There's Christmas carolers on the ferries going down the river. It's really beautiful. So of course, at some point, as I'm walking, I let some jackass tourist ruin my lovely mood. So I'm walking down the riverwalk, minding my own business, right? And I should preface this by saying, I despise people who try to sound smart for attention or like to impress their date or something. It's like, we're not stupid. You ain't fooling anyone. Okay, I'm walking down the riverwalk, right? Minding my own business. And all of a sudden, some middle-aged man's voice comes up behind me and says to whoever they're with, all gentle and sophisticated like, "So, long before the city was here, the river was here." And immediately I blurted out loud, "No shit!" No hesitation. It was like this primal, visceral reaction that flared up from inside my body. Awkward silence. I was pretty sure that guy heard me because he immediately stopped talking. And for a brief moment, I felt so good. I felt so at peace, thinking I knocked this asshole off his fucking high horse, and everything in the universe was once again in balance. And then they walked past me, and I realized they were actually two 10-year-olds on a walk with their middle-aged dad, and their dad was just teaching them about the history of the Riverwalk. And it was then I realized it was I who was the jackass once again. And then I drove 30 hours nonstop back home and didn't die, and now I'm home. Woohoo! So, I guess the moral of the story is this whole road trip diary special. And thanks for coming. Thanks for being here and listening to me blabber. I said at the beginning, I was burnt out on life. I'm a very do whatever my gut tells me in the moment type of person. I feel like dancing. Okay, let's dance. I'm craving ice cream. Okay, let's eat. I want to go on a road trip. Okay, see you all next year. So, in November, my gut was telling me I needed a road trip. And while I did learn a lot about myself and had a bunch of epiphanies throughout the whole road trip, I'd say I reached one of my biggest epiphanies, if not the biggest one, on my first day at the BTS concert. I said at the beginning, it felt like they came all this way just to see me. And it really did feel like that. And I think that's just because they made such an incredible impact on me. BTS helped me get out of bed in the morning. BTS showed me I had reasons I should love myself. And they made me want to make an impact too. Not just on myself, but on other people. So I made a New Year's resolution to be more productive with my time. That goes for work time, that goes for my personal time. You know what they say, work hard, simp hard. Whatever I'll be doing, I want to make the most of it. And when I get burnt out from being productive, I'll go on another road trip. And when my friends ask me where I'm going, I'll say, wherever the wind takes me. And wherever the wind takes me, I'll go. Alright, thanks for watching my road trip diary Netflix special, everybody. Have a good night.
can't hear me clapping, but clap, 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 clap.
You want an encore?
Encore!
All right, encore it is. This has nothing to do with the road trip. This is just something I needed to get off my chest. And that is, and I'm 100% serious about this. More serious than probably anything I've said in the past hour or so. And Tam says, if your balder can manage it, sure. The really important thing I wanted to get off my chest is someday when I grow up and I don't give a fuck, I want my own pee chair. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a chair you can pee in. And I'm totally serious. Like, getting up to pee is the worst. So it's a chair with plumbing and self-cleaning and like a seat warmer and like a water spray massager like the Japanese toilets. And before you ask, ew, no, you don't go number 2 in it. That's gross. And what kind of weirdo are you to even think of that? Yes, only pee. And I'm sure you're asking, what if I need to go number 2? Well, then you get the fuck up and take your phone with you and turn on your favorite podcast and sit down and enjoy the water massage. See, I would never lump number 2 into my pee chair because number 2 requires like a special atmosphere, you know? Like preferably with lavender scented candles and nice music and or a podcast, you know? And no, I can't. And before you ask again, I can't bring the lavender scented candles out to my pee chair because that'll cross-contaminate my desk space. And I don't want to be smelling lavender when I'm doing other stuff. Like lavender's a special time smell, you know? And so here's how you use it. When you have to go, you just pull your pants down. And it doesn't even have to be all the way. It could just be like halfway is enough, you know? Super convenient. Then you just get cozy. Yeah. Or if you live alone, you just go commando all the way. Like just you know, sitting, walking. It's the best. But I know my pee chair is just a pipe dream. No one's ever gonna make that. So here's what I'm thinking. To be a little more practical. When I have my own place, I'll just get a place with a large and comfy bathroom. And then just like build a desk around it. Oh, I have an amazing idea. A room with a pee chair and a mini fridge. I'll never have to get up for stuff again. But yeah. I used to live alone in a studio apartment. And I walk around butt naked, you know, because you can. Those were the days. I used to like take this bubble bath while like holding a wine glass of cranberry apple juice in my hand with like a tablet at the end of the bathtub and just be like watching Big Bang Theory with like lavender scented candles. It was the best. And like I know it's time to get out by like the pruniness of my skin. Speaking of which, I have started doing spa days every Saturday, which is tomorrow, and I'm very excited. But for my New Year's resolution, you know, I said I'd promise I'd be more productive, work life and personal life, and part of that means taking better care of myself, and that includes skincare. Actually, this kind of goes back to my road trip, and my bladder is about to explode. I really wish I had that picture right now. But going back to my road trip, I was picking up Japanese hibachi food for Blizz and Snow and Phoenix all by myself, and they're a real hoot. They're a real party. So when I finally got a moment of silence by myself, I had the idea that I could work at a trap cafe in Akihabara in Tokyo. I'm not going to explain to you what a trap is. So, when I had this idea, I told my friend Max on Discord, bounce the idea off of. And I'm typing, I was like, I think I could work at a trap cafe. Immediately out of nowhere, Max emerges from being offline just to tell me, nah, you're too ugly to work at a trap cafe in Japan. I'm like, oh, God damn it, Max. You're right. Leave it to Max to spit hard, cold truths. Because Max has actually thought about this more than I have, to be fair. Who am I to think I could just roll on up there without so much as a maid outfit, without so much as cat ears, and think I could be part of their trap cafe in Tokyo? No, and that doesn't fly. And as Max explained, the people who work there invest so many hours and have developed so much skill in the art of makeup to make themselves look the part or their character. It's like being cast in a Hollywood movie. I don't even like makeup. I'd actually much prefer to be like one of those maids without any makeup, but solely rely on years and years of consistently good skincare, like K-pop artists. So, as part of my New Year's resolution, I figured I would try a new K-pop skincare routine. So maybe someday I'll be able to tell Max I want to work at a trap cafe and he won't fucking laugh at my face. So, let me tell you about this routine. So this K-pop skincare routine I've developed so far is an aloe cleanser, so clean my face, a green tea toner to help absorb whatever I put on next, a face mask, but only on spa day. The face mask is special, so I'm gonna do that once a week on Saturday, and then after that, I put on my green tea face cream. And this is actually a simplified version of this is 10-step Korean skincare routine. Look it up on Google. I skip the makeup remover because I don't wear makeup. I skip the sun protection because I don't go outside. But the face mask is the best. Your skin comes out all soft and smooth like a baby. And best of all, they're only $2 where I get them, and they're imported from Korea. And every time I go to the Korean face shop, the nice lady always gives me free expired face masks. And the last time I was looking for a good face cream, the lady came to help me and asked me, hey, what's your age, teen or adult? And I'm like, I'm insert boomer age here. And she's like, wow, you look so young. And then after that, I bought everything she told me to buy, and when I regained consciousness, I was already walking outside with a full bag out the door. Yeah. I don't get I mean, it's true. I don't get compliments often. So when I do, I get wrecked. I get wrecked like a tornado, tearing into Satan's ass, but while BTS is playing in the background. Okay, thanks a lot for watching my stand-up special, everybody. Good night. This is the real, and goodbye. Oh no, the camera's attached to me. I can't escape. It's still attached to me. Why is the camera? Go away.
I don't know.